Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Scott Bush. I'm your host, and I'm here with Dorit Zilbershot. She's Attivio's Vice President of Product Management and Development. Dorit is ready to explain new modules that we've added to the Attivio platform, namely our Search UI Toolkit, or otherwise known as Suite, and our new search analytics capabilities. But before she gets started, I'd like to bring your attention to the question panel on your right. We'll have some time at the end for Dorit to take your questions, so please feel free to submit your questions. We love to take the questions, and they're always good for everyone else on the call as well. So we encourage those, and we'd love to answer those for you at the end. All right, let's dive right in. Dorit, over to you.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you everyone for joining us today. So as Scott mentioned, we have two new features that we just released in the past 2 weeks. One is the Search Analytics. So Search Analytics is a way for us to give you insights on how users are behaving, what is the search experience, and give you some feedback on how to make the search better. And the Search UI Toolkit, which we call Suite, is an open source UI framework that is really easy to customize and allows you to build search application very quickly. So just diving into the Suite, and then I'll go into the Search Analytics. So Suite is completely open source UI framework. I'll show you exactly where you can find it and how you can access it, but we are trying to build a community around it, and it's fully integrated with Attivio's machine learning-based search platform and popular open source search engines such as Elastic and Solr. And why, you might ask, did we make it an open source? So we are very passionate about providing IT's organizations and helping them build search applications very quickly that are very effective for their end users, but also making IT organizations very productive in building that. So we wanted to be able to allow the community to contribute towards that. And so we can benefit from that, our customers can benefit from that, but the entire search community can benefit from that. And this will help with cost savings, time to market, and it will allow us as a community to be more creative and more flexible. So what is included in Suite? So we look at it as 4 pieces. We got the search, authentication, API integration, and results visualization. So when you think about the search, what's so special about a search application versus any other UI application that you might have? So there's some specific characteristics to search applications that with our expertise, we feel that we are enabling developers to quickly build search applications, such as, just having the search box available and being able to have simple query and advanced query, having facets, autocomplete, highlighting, spell checks, and the list goes on search-specific capabilities. The next piece is authentication. So Attivio has, as part of our, we have an IP on content security, and we take pride in how secured our engine is. So when we went to build a UI framework, a UI toolkit, we knew that we have to make that fully support security in terms of who can access the search application and who can access the data itself. So we support SAML, SSO, XML, and you're able to very quickly configure that and have your end users logging in with their username and password and get that credentials with the data as well, so they can only see data that they're allowed to see in the search application. And I'll show you how we can log it in with my account. And then API integrations. So it's fully integrated with Attivio APIs, and you can quickly gain access to all the advanced capabilities that we have. So just to highlight a few of them, so we have on the ingest API, we have real-time editing. So you don't have to just, search application is not just one-way street. It's not just getting the data out of the index. We allow the users to also annotate, give feedback, tag specific documents, and that goes directly to the index without having to reindex the whole document. So that's available. The Signals API, so being able to know what exactly users are doing when they're working with the search application. What are they clicking on? If they're liking a specific document, everything you can think about as a user behavior. And then we have the Query API, so everything related to the search side. So if it's integration with our machine learning relevancy, search profiles, text analytics, and the query time join. And so we have also an integration with the Elastic and Solar. You can imagine that not everything will be available there because those search engines don't support everything that we do, but it does give you the full breadth of everything that is available with those search platforms. And then last but not least is the visualization capabilities. So Suite comes out of the box with UI components and that have a timeline, pie chart, bar chart, and all kinds of cool things that you want to see in a flashy UI. And it's already built, integrated, and just ready to be used. So how will you use Suite? What are some of the use cases that we see that we already use in Suite for? So we have our the 3 use cases that we see very often with our customers. We got the unified digital workplace, so being able to integrate search into your modern workforce and being able to ask a question and get an answer on any data that is available in your organization. We have customer support. So again, you have all this information about customers and their tickets and knowledge base articles. So being able to quickly ask a question, get an answer, get a problem from a customer and very quickly find the answer and the root cause of that issue. And then risk avoidance, being able to protect your brand and know what's going on outside of your organization if there are things that you should be aware of. And additionally, which is very exciting for us, we're using Suite in-house to build any new UI interfaces that we have. And we use that in search analytics as well. You'll be able to see some of the examples that we worked on. So why Suite? Why would you use Suite? So when we're looking at the development cycles, there are 3 things that usually you look at when you're trying to plan a project. You look at your resources, you look at the timeline that you have to deliver, and you look at the requirements that you have. And usually you have to make some trade-offs to be able to, get something very quickly out the door or get something with not a lot of resources or get, satisfy your end users with their requirements. So with Suite, we feel you can do all. You can provide a better user experience. You can have a shorter time to market and be able to deliver on the deadline that you have and also improve productivity because you only need one resource, just the UI person, to be able to build the search application. So just to show you where everything, so this is on Git. So if you go, this is our public Git repository where you can see, the SDK that we have as well, the archetype. So you'll see 2 things here. One is the Suite and the search UI. So Suite, we said, is just a framework. It's a library that contains all the, the pieces to be able to build a search application. Search UI is what we bring out of the box with Attivio as the search application. And it is the basic search application that is probably good for the majority of the use cases. And that can be a starting point for you to start building your own search application. So when you go in, you'll see all the documentation, all the explanation of how to work with it. Now showing you our search application. So this, as I said, we are fully integrated with security, allowing you to log in with your account, and this is connected to our Active Directory. So it picks up my name, I put it in my password and I can log in, and so I can see the data that is relevant to me. I can see that I'm logged in. So first, you can see has the one box experience. You can see how many documents, how many sources this index includes. And before we start searching something, we have an insights page. And the insights page is using what we call the facet finder. So any field that has some unique values will be automatically exposed here in the insights, or if you want, you can configure the specific facets that you want to show. And you can see some of the visualization that we bring out of the box and include in some of our text analytics capability. So I can just choose everything that is positive, and you can see how it affects everything on the map. And then I can choose a specific data source. And when I go to the results, I'm only going to see data that come in from the country table. So looking at the search results, what exactly are we seeing here? You can see the results. There's some teaser on the result themselves. And you can see that some of the keywords are marked. And those are the entities that we were able to extract. So we have location, we have a company, we have a date. So it gives you some of the analytics that we are able to extract. You can also see some of the metadata on the right side. And this is completely configurable, what fields exactly you want to show here. Shows you the table, and it also has an image in case your data source has some kind of image. On the left side, you can see the facets. So in this case, we have a map, we have the key phrases, have a table. So I can click on something, and that will affect the results that I'm seeing on the screen, and I can also remove that if I want. On the top, you can see I have the details. So if I click on, I'll see all the fields that are available for that document and not just the teaser. And also, it's fully integrated with our machine learning relevancy, so I can pick a different relevancy model and search on that. You can see that I can have tags. So this is a tag I already created. I can also add a tag here and maybe say, test. That's being added. So you can see that on the fly, I'm able to add metadata to a document without having to go through a whole ingestion process. I can click on a more like this and get documents that are similar to the document that I'm working on. And I can also search, and you can see some of the highlights. So it tells me why this document came back. And one of the cool capabilities that we have is the 360 view. So I can drill into any result that comes back in the search results and see more information on that. So if I'm drilling into El Salvador, I can see the teaser. I can see all the metadata. I can see on the right side the similar results that are related to El Salvador. And what's more interesting is I can see a knowledge graph. So in this case, this is just the out-of-the-box configuration. It looks at entities that were extracted from this document and then find documents that have similar entities extracted. So I can click on APOPA and see some more interesting, relationships between the documents. So this is the out-of-the-box experience. This is the search UI that you can take, you can customize, you can build on top. And just to show you, an example of something that was built in our pre-sales team. So this is a knowledge management demonstration. So I can search for machine learning. So this index includes articles that are related to machine learning. So I can search that. I can see the highlighting. I can see all the entities. I can see all the facets on the left. But if I search who understands machine learning, and I'm trying to find who are the experts on machine learning. So in case, I have a question about something, I'm trying to look for an expert in my organization, you just ask a question. And when I do, you can see that the results look very different. So there's an expert page, and that expert page is being structured differently from the result set that we saw before. It was basically a customization of, instead of showing the results as text fields, I just show them as cards of people. And if I go and look at the 360 view of that person, you can see some of the customizations that were done here to show the picture on the right. And then the knowledge graph is looking more on the authors and departments and job titles instead of just the entities that are extracted. So I can start to understand who's related to who, why they're related, and who are the experts on machine learning. So this is for the Search UI and Suite. And now let's move to the Search Analytics, and let me show you, and this, exactly the same as the knowledge management demo. This was built using Suite, so every UI component that you see here is already available under the Suite library. So the Search Analytics is our tool to give you insights on the search experience. So what exactly are we showing you? So there's a timeline at the top that shows two things. One, it shows the volume of the queries, how many queries were executed at a given time. And second, it shows the average response time. So I can, very quickly understand what's the search experience. Like when are people really searching? What is the response time that they're getting? And I can start getting an understanding of, any patterns in behavior, any issues that I maybe have with the search performance and things like that. I can drill in to a specific time frame and learn more about how my users are experiencing. When we scroll a little bit down, it gives me some information on the search itself. So on the left side, you can see queries with no results, and on the right side, the top searches. So looking at the queries with no results, you can see all the queries that came in. So one of the things that we know that sometimes there's an application that is running a query, or there's an advanced query that you write, and it will look like, and let's say Windows, comma, worldwide, comma, something. And you don't want to look for those specific, like technical representations of the query. So that's why we have the term. You can click on a term and you can see all the terms that are extracted. We're basically using our NLP capabilities to extract entities and terms from a query and being able to provide information that is more relevant to what you're looking for. And so if I'm looking at Windows 2000, I can see 380 runs of this query had no results. And when I go in, I can see who are the users that executed that query. And I can see if they executed Windows 2000, what else were they looking for? So it can give me a sense of what's the information that they're looking for, and what's missing from my data. Going to the top searches, again, I can drill into a specific search. And I have an issue here, but it gives you the list of the related documents, can give you the list of the related searches, tells you who were the users that executed that search and how many times, and it can also show me over the same time period that I have on top, what was the search experience, and I can also drill in just specifically to this to get some more understanding on a specific search. If someone is telling you, oh, I executed Windows and it took 5 minutes to come back, then you can start to understand, is this an issue with the specific search, or is this an overall problem with the system? So go into the, Going to the last row, so I have the top users. I can see who are the users. I seem to be having an issue here, but this will show you the top clicks and how many times people were clicking on a specific document. You can also drill into a document itself. And then we have the average click position. Let me just try one thing. It was working before. Yes. So I can look at the top clicks, and I can see a document. I can see the list of the documents that came back. And this tells me, what are the popular documents that people are looking at. and it can start giving me an understanding of when people are coming to my search applications, what exactly are they searching for. If I'm clicking on a specific document, I can see what was the activity. So what were the total clicks, like how many times people clicked on this document at a specific timeline, and I can see what was the click position. And that can give me a sense of if this document is that popular, but it comes back as position number 5, maybe it means that I need to train my machine learning relevancy so that it can adjust and makes the search experience better. It can also give me the related queries, so people who clicked on this document, so for this document, what were the queries that led people to click on this document? So I can see that if they search for Word, they clicked on it 256 times, and if they search for Director, 232 times. So it gives you a sense of, what they were looking for and why they clicked on this document, and then who are the users that clicked on this document. And then last but not least, you want to see on average what's the click position, so you can get a sense of how's your relevancy model is working, do you need to train it, and what's the overall search experience. So hopefully this gives you a sense of these new 2 capabilities that we have, and how you can benefit from them by applying them to your installation of Attivio. So just so you know, that these 2 features do require running on Attivio 5.5, but they can be installed as a module very quickly and very easily, so you can benefit from this. Let's go back to our slides, and I think, Scott, this is now our time for questions.
Great. Thank you, Dorit. I just want to remind everybody there's a Q&A section to your right. We'll take a few minutes to answer as many as we can to the bottom of the hour here. If we don't get to them all, we'll be sure to get back to you. First one up here on the presentation, Dorit, why are all the queries in top searches single words? People don't always search in single words. They use phrases, of course. So maybe you could speak to that.
Yeah, this is just a demo environment that we have. We do have, we support everything. That's why we have the term. So if you have, someone is asking for, have an advanced query, we can extract the words. If someone has a sentence, we can extract the words that mean something. Or you can just see the entire query that they submitted. So it's just the demo that I have, but we fully support all types and whatever, combinations of search that you can think of.
Great. And here's another one. Is there a built-in query intent detection?
Yeah, so we do have, we call it the question and answer capability. So what I just showed you, this is something that we currently have in place, but it's it's only working with our APIs, and we are planning to have a release in the summer that we have a full question and answer capability that allows, end users to just submit the question and either get the results or get a specific page or even get an answer.
Great. Is there a way to make the user reporting GDPR compliant?
So one of the things that is, so not in the current, the out-of-the-box one, but the search analytics is completely customizable. So all the data actually sits in the index. So all the queries, all the signals are available to you. So you can customize the metadata that we store. So if there is some information on GDPR that you can store on, on the document or on the signal itself, that someone that wasn't supposed to got access to it, then you can build your own dashboard either by using Suite and just expanding the search analytics, or you can also use our SQL interface and build using Tableau or Spotfire or whatever BI tool that you have. You can build your own dashboard to support any question that you might have on how users are behaving with the search platform.
Yeah, that was a question here, the integration with Tableau and other BI tools. That's fully supported through Search Analytics 3?
Right. Yes. So, one of the capabilities in Attivio is being able to integrate with BI tools. So this is now different. You can completely ask, SQL queries to the index and get the search analytics data. You can also build a search application using AQL and any of our APIs to search the data, whatever works best for you.
All right, and just a point of clarification, can you get the Click Analytics, which is the search analytics, even if you don't use the Attivio suite, but only the Attivio, is it only for the Attivio backend?
So the signals or the search analytics,
Search
the
analytics,
search analytics, you don't need, yeah, right. So you don't need to use Suite. We built it using Suite because it was quicker and easier for us. But you definitely don't need to install Suite or the Search UI to enjoy the search analytics. There are two different modules that can be installed separately. So yes, so to your question, you can use the search analytics without the Attivio Suite. And
great. And go ahead, Dorit.
so one of the things is, yeah, just to add to that, if so some of those components on the search analytics do require you to integrate with our Signals API. If you have your own signal system that you use, like BlueKai or Google Analytics or whatever, you can build something that puts the data in the index, and you can use that as well. So again, like all the options of customizing it and leveraging this for your own use case.
And Dorit, what would be like an average time to build a search application?
So our like the pre-sales team that are building search applications for some of our prospects, it usually takes them between a day or two to build a fully customizable and with all the features search application.
Right. And another question, looks like just for clarification, the demo of the search analytics was the suite or another interface?
So the search analytics, that was the search analytics interface. Behind the scene, it was built with the suite library, but that's the UI. If you want to customize it, you can.
And does 360 view work on common key phrases in the document?
Right, so it can be on everything. You can say that it's on common key phrases, you can say it's on entities, you can say it's on fields. You can determine what's the link between two documents based on the questions that you're trying to answer. And it could be different for different types of documents.
Great, okay, we're at the bottom of the hour, so we're going to wrap up here. I want to say thanks to Dorit for taking us through this, and thank you everyone for giving us your time today. Have a great rest of your day.